Seelbach, are you ready to unseal your box? Seelbach, are you ready to unseal your box? Seelbach, are you ready to unseal your box?
We got a week full of releases from across the country with multiple different distilleries and brands. This is the week in Seelbach. Brian, how's it going?
Dude, it's good. We've got a smorgasbord of
Smorgas
releases here on this
cornucopia.
table. And if you can spell smorgasbord without autocorrect, leave it down in the comments below while you're smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss our weekly reviews that we do every week so you can catch the weekly releases at Seelbach.
Absolutely. Well, let's start it off with a really fun one. This is one of those where I don't even know what camp you put it in, but we had a batch of this maybe late last year, early this year, and that is Chattanooga Whiskey's Batch Alpha. This is the Batch Alpha Dash One Intergalactic Comet Crusher. This
Am
one
I
is
even
really
allowed to
cool.
show this? You know, this is so cryptic last time.
Yeah, it's very funny, and I do really love this approach because typically, Chattanooga is all about the mash bill and what grains they use and this and that. And then they do this Comet Crusher in the Alpha Batch, and it's like this funny sci-fi, very hidden. You don't quite know exactly what it is. But it is really excited to have this one back. We sold out very fast. It is infused with let's see, 42 botanicals, and the intensity meter on it is 6EQUJ5. Not sure what that means. Overables.
But for all of you all who
Or
do know,
observables.
there
It
it
helps
is.
if I can read as well. Observables per SA797V, comma V1, recipe code 1698/1009. 12 barrel blend. I think the only thing I actually understood there was the 12 barrel blend.
Look, I'm going to say it. I'm going to show the bottle for like half a second. So everyone get ready to screenshot. Okay. So you can see it. Okay. So there you go.
Oh, actually, I don't even think I realized it was purple this time. That's
well, you will when the video drops because I didn't reshoot it, but I did shift the color. So, but I do find it tastes different, dude. I love the, as you know, I talked about it before, their cello releases and like these kind of liqueur things I find so enjoyable. They're great for making cocktails. They're fun to sip on their own. This one has like it's like a lemon. Maybe the colors throw me off. I feel like it's got like a lemon lavender focus thing. I told my buddy Michael, and he was like, "Dude, I'm ready to make some French 75s." I said, "Will they be intergalactic 75s with this one, buddy?" So if you have interest in making some intergalactic 75s, be ready to go on that.
Yeah,
on that buy button on Monday.
On someone's cocktail menu, well, especially Chattanooga's tasting room cocktail menu, there missed opportunity.
You should actually steal that before they can, honestly.
Yeah, which they do say, as we joke about the secretiveness of this release, they are putting the full recipe and everything on the front label this time. They said after the demand and request from last time, which probably just means it was a fun way to do things the first time, and then they received hundreds of customer emails asking what it was, and they decided to put everything on there. So, really excited for that one. The team at Chattanooga does an incredible job. Grant over there, their head distiller, master distiller, is one of the best in the game. So should be a great one on Monday. And then next in the week, another one of our favorites, NDPs out of Cleveland, Ohio, which is River Roots. These barrels are always super popular. You know, I would probably have to put them in some of the top 10 of NDP single barrels we select from that just move and fly really quickly. But we have two really cool ones on this one. The first is a 10-year, 6-month California American single malt. It is 63.6% malted barley, 36.4% rye, 136.34 proof. And Well, I'll dive back into that in a second. The second is a wheated bourbon from North Carolina. It's 8.5 years old, 108.78 proof. And then the mash bill is 60, 30, 10 corn, wheat, malted barley. We had a little fun with these. I will say I think the fun with brands like this, with like Nulu, Rare Character, River Roots, you get to go a little more in depth on the label with the design and everything. So we did call the California single malt going back to Cali. Going back to Cali is on the front label, some California style vibes on the front. And actually, I got these barrel samples and was tasting them, and I was like, "Oh, this barrel turns 10, or well, it turned 10 on my daughter's birthday." I picked them a while ago, and the barrel numbers were MK, which is my daughter's initials. I'm like, "Could we call this MK10?" They're like, "Yeah, I don't see a problem with it." Then I forget. I don't think they put the barrel numbers on the bottle. Did that show up anywhere? I did promise her that, but
There's 10 on there somewhere.
yeah, it's there somewhere. So going back to Cali will be the first single barrel in the release, which really cool design. And then the second one is called his Wheatness. It is a California blue. It is a Carolina blue theme. I will, for the sake of not getting sued or anything like that, I will let you guess at what we were going for with his Wheatness, with a North Carolina wheated bourbon. But this is a really cool one as well, because I mean, I think for the past probably 2.5 years, you've been saying like, how do we get barrels from this distillery in North Carolina? I love the
Yeah.
wheated bourbon.
Yeah.
Whether we get the barrels, whether we get some of their products,
Yeah.
just been really big fans. And then these came along, and so really excited for those, because it's 8.5 years old. It's priced well. It's really tasty. I feel like it hits all those points that we try to bring in each of our single barrels. It's like, yes, it's great whiskey. It also is unique. It also is slightly differentiated. So that'll be a cool one.
Yeah, this is honestly one of the best. This is one of the best wheated bourbons on the market. I mean, last time I said something like that was when we brought the Montgomery in, and
Mm.
so we had the Montgomery distillery, and it was their lower proof one. And I was like, this rivals that kind of like Buffalo Trace kind of profile for weeded. But for if you want to, I guess I should preface say like a non-Kentucky weeded, this is like this is it. Not
Mhm.
again, not just from River Roots, but certainly these barrels hit. And then if you know anything about the malt, the Cali's malt, these Cali malts, you know that these will not last very long. This is like one of the places that we grab from that
Mhm.
they fly faster than a Roadrunner, and we get a lot of frustration about that one. So again, pro members probably specifically, just know, you might have the best access to it. They might still go fast. I don't know. I don't remember what the yields are, but again, 10.5 year double oaked American malt at 136 proof with the funny thing about this is a great bottle design. We were playing off of the old, like, was it 90s, 2000s, like
Notorious
old
B.I.G.
car,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of style. We went with this. I still think this is swaggy as hell. So I think this is going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, that there were some designs that didn't make it for probably sensory purposes that were
And we
pretty
will not
funny,
drop
but
them we will not drop them in the video either.
no, no. I know you have to be 21 and older to watch this video, but still, for me and Brian's own sake, they were funny. But next up, and this is a really cool one. If we want to talk about just hitting all the stats, and really fun one out of Manassas, Virginia. Some may recognize KO Distilling. We've definitely had some of their products. We've picked some of their single barrels over the years. And they came to us, man, probably 6, 8 months ago. And we're like, we have these barrels that are coming along. They're going to be 10 years old. They're high proof. They're Kelvin threes and Kelvin Char 3 barrels, which hits all the stats that we're always looking for. So I feel like it just if you're looking for big stats, but also really great bourbon, this KO Distilling Signature Series 10-year Hazmat Bourbon will be one you're going to want to chase. So this, and I think we get into this a lot of like blending in American whiskey. There's all different levels of it. So these are actually MGP barrels that KO Distilling had purchased as new make. They've been aging in Virginia for the last 10 years. They've been slowly releasing these things out. They're down to their last, I think it's 7 or 8 barrels, and ended up pulling some of these barrels out that were hazmat proof, and did a blend, partnered with Prestige LeDroit, which is one of the distributors we work closely with in the DC, Maryland, Delaware area. And so it's 142.4 proof. It's the 21% mash bill from Indiana. Like I said, Kelvin Char number 3s, and just really exciting. You know, anything with those stats in today's whiskey world is just going to fly. And, you know, we're still waiting on the final bottling. I think it's coming this week. But had a chance to try some of these preview barrels, 6-8 months ago, and they were really tasty. So really cool to be able to see this kind of come to fruition and come to life.
Yeah. Again, this is, I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, this is another, sometimes we get into these videos and like, I think I know what we're going to talk about. And we start talking about them, like, dude, it's just stacks on stacks of really good releases. So yeah, and what I find interesting too about these, we've done some of these Kelvin 4s. Like a lot of times when we're talking about Kelvin barrel profiles like this in this kind of age range, they've been Kelvin 4s. They have the kind of like charry, marshmallowy creaminess. These barrels are really unique because of that Char 3. It doesn't seem like it might make that much of a difference, but I feel like it does give like a little bit of a cleaner profile you might expect from something that is not traditionally in a Kelvin barrel. Maybe a little bit more sugars, a little bit more fruitiness sticks itself out, but then it still brings a lesser version of those bigger creamy notes that I think come off for as best as you can for 142 proof bourbon, like possibly a little bit more balance to it overall. So I think that people are going to be really, really jiving on these.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a new label design, so it's different from like the boxers and everything that they've had in the past at KO. Cool to see bright red label, really pops.
Great label.
So excited for that one. And then we close out the week with a familiar favorite, but it's been a little while. So Field of Dreams is a whiskey brand which they source bourbon that was made from corn from the actual Field of Dreams set, or Field of Dreams movie set in Iowa. We have their 2026 Player Series edition. And this 2026 Players edition is, let's see, it actually has one for every player in the history of the big leagues through 2025. So with each bottle comes a number on the back, and then you can use that bottle code to go to the Field of Dreams website, look up who your player is, and it's always a fun one. And I feel like anytime we release this, we'll get emails where people are like, hey, my dad was player so and so, can I get his bottle number? It's like, we'll do our best, but we kind of we kind of hit our limit at searching through 20 cases, and if we don't find it, I mean, there's 23 different options or variations here, 23,000 different variations. It just gets tough. So Field of Dreams was nice enough to say, if it is like a family member or somebody like that who's special to you, they'll send you your own back label so you can have their actual bottle. But this is one, I think it just combines so many cool things in our space today. It's a collector's thing for a lot of people. It's a gift for a lot of people. Baseball is, America's pastime. You combine that with whiskey and the fact that it's really good whiskey. I think it just hits on so many different things. I'm excited for that one. And so that should be another big release.
Should we look up who is on?
Yeah. Who do you have?
My bottle. Okay.
And if it's Ryan Sandberg, I call that bottle.
This is bottle number. Well, I've got 2 of them. Let's do this one here. This is bottle number 1,273. So no spoilers if this is your bottle and you've not checked yet. The 1,273rd 73rd player
First,
in major
third.
73rd player in Major League history was Billy Klussman. Billy
Hmm.
made his big league debut on Thursday, June 21st, 1888. He appeared in 43 games over 2 seasons, playing for the Boston Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. And then there's a baseball reference. If you want to do the other one, let me look up this other one.
I was going to say, and while you look the other one up, if you are a descendant of Billy and you would like this bottle, please comment below. We will send it to you for free.
That's right.
Just because you've watched 20 minutes of us talking about whiskey and you deserve a bottle.
Okay, this one right here, the 13,836th player in Major League history was Rick Sutcliffe. Rick Sutcliffe.
Yeah, yeah.
Rick made his big league debut on Wednesday, September 29th, 1976. He appeared in 466 games over 18 seasons, playing for the LA Dodgers, the Cleveland Blues, the Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Browns, and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah,
this one's
Rick was a player.
pretty dented. So
if you're related to Rick, we will send you a different bottle because we won't send you a bottle that's half third or a third of the way full, or a thirst of the way full, as Brian.
Oh my gosh!
I swear we haven't been drinking. It's like 2:00, and
we haven't.
That's not on air.
Yeah, this one's good, man. This one's got, you know what, I really like this. It's got this kind of like bear claw, kind of like chewy toffee thing that's going on with it, but it also has like, and I don't know if it's because of the baseball thing, it also has this like pop of lemon, but then it has this kind of like freshly oiled baseball glove type vibe thing to it. It makes me think of what's his face in Big Red Liquors. That's like a note he always used to pull out too, but rich coating. It's 108 proof. It just drinks so nice with like these roasted peanuts, the semi-sweet chocolates, this pecan pie type thing. It's a great drinker, even though I feel like a lot of people who buy these, it seems like they collect them, but just so you know, they're also drinkable as well.
Yeah, I feel like last time we did this release, I sent it to a buddy who was giving it to a neighbor for like a retirement gift. And then like 3 days later, he's like, "Hey, will you send me a bottle of that?" I'm like, "Didn't we already do that?" He's like, "Yes, but he wants to keep one, but he also wants to try it and see how the whiskey is." I'm like, "Okay, like, yes, we will get it to him, but it is a fun one to stick on the shelf, and you get different players. You open up a player that you maybe don't have as big of a connection to. But at the end of the day, even for the whiskey drinker, I think it's really cool from a blending aspect. If you take baseball and everything else out of it, like it's just really good whiskey. They do a great job over there at Field of Dreams. So cool to finally have another release back from them. This one is a little more limited. We were hoping for some more bottles soon, but a little more limited than runs we've had in the past. But not as a way to say like, oh, act fast, but that just is the nature of what happened in the 2026 release. So should be a great one for Friday and a great way to close out the week into, I guess that's not quite 4th of July weekend yet. So one more week before, but well, that'll do it for this week in Seelbach's weekly review. Brian, any closing thoughts?
No, just thanks for tuning in to another great week of releases, and look forward to even another. You know what? Here, I'm gonna do something I've not done before. Let's look at what we have. Let me look at what we have. I was looking at what we have penciled in for the week after that. And for anyone who's still here, that's going to be a lip smacking week as well.
It's a banger.
There's actually one thing I think is going to have to be moved, which will come to it, but it's going to be a good release too. This is
Fridays.
Yes. First half of the year. What are your all's thoughts? We've been through now half a year of whiskey in 2026. Let us know what some of your favorite releases have been that you've gotten from Seelbach or otherwise. Let us know what some of your favorite releases have been from this year down in the comments below.
Absolutely. All right. Have a great week, everyone. We'll talk to you next week.
Cheers, everybody.